In the UK, we've got over 100 ways of describing rain, from drizzle and spitting to deluge and downpour. I wish we had some more options for discussing autistic burnout, because autistic people can experience burnout in different ways. But there are some people who experience it as a great big crash. They get signed off work, they might not be able to leave their home, and it can last for months or even years. And then other autistic people experiencing burnout differently might look at that and say, well, I'm not in burnout because I haven't had that. And it stops them from seeking help. In my case, I haven't had the big crash kind of burnout. I think what I had, I would describe as functional burnout for the first 50 years of my life. So I had a partner, a house and a job, but I also had anxiety, exhaustion, and on and off depression as well. I was always exhausted. I can remember yawning my way through school, through university, and through working in an office. Each day I would wake up never having had enough rest. I would spend my energy throughout the day till I was in a deficit. Then I would watch a lot of TV back home and go to bed. And I did that on a daily loop. I used to think that holidays were places that you would fly to, sleep 18 hours a day, just to get the energy to come back and live your life. I was genuinely confused by people who had holiday photographs of fun activities. When were they awake to be able to do that? On top of that, I had a constant feeling my whole life that I would describe as tinnitus in my stomach, which I now realise is the feeling of dread. I used to dread waking up and getting out of bed, knowing that I would spend the day in places and with people that made me feel uncomfortable. There were times that I was happy, but it always felt like accidental happiness. I never knew how to be deliberately happy every day. Instead, it felt that I was on a treadmill. I had to fill every day doing as much as I could to the best of my ability that I could so that I could go to sleep feeling like that was a productive day. I'd say yes to a lot of things and agree to a lot of things without ever knowing why. Even after I found out I was autistic, things didn't change. I still had this idea in my head that because I had a partner, a house and a job, I was winning at this and I didn't need to make any changes. It wasn't until the second year of lockdown in 2021, I can remember waking up one morning and realising I didn't have that feeling in my stomach. I didn't wake up with dread. Now, it was confusing because I knew there were a lot of people hating lockdown and a lot of people dying, and the news was telling me it was a terrible thing. But I loved lockdown. I loved staying home 23 hours a day. I loved going for one walk a day, but if you met anyone, they had to stand 2 meters back from you. If you went in a shop or a building, you had to wear a mask and nobody could make small talk with you. I properly loved it. So as lockdown eased and the old life began to come back, that's when I thought I want to make some changes to my life because I don't want to go back into functional burnout. And now I think I have a life where I get enough sleep and every day I do something that makes me deliberately happy. I've even got a list. Of course I've got a list. So if you'd like to know more about any of this, please check out my blog, www.johnpendle.com/blog. It's got lots of tips and advice, including early warning signs and recovery from autistic burnout. And if you'd like a call with me, please get in touch. The first half hour is free.